You aren't delusional. Those demons just can't tell the truth and know if word gets out, their operation will be exposed. There are plenty of people who are aware of what they're doing to you, but acting like they're not because they simply don't want to get caught. All right. So you have to keep that in mind. The way they're running their game on you, you think you could just go up to them and just be like, hey, you're doing this. This is wrong. It needs to stop. You think that it's that simple and it's that easy, but it's not, because the way that they do it, it appears to everyone else that they're not doing anything. It appears to everyone else that they're not doing anything. But the thing is, when you try to explain your situation to others, it's going to seem like you're Lulu, you're loony, you're delusional. It's going to make it seem like you're trying to explain something that you're seeing to people that you're not really seeing, because no one else sees it, and also they can't see it. So if no one else can see it, if they can't see it, you're going to be seen as delusional. If you're the only person that is able to pick up on something, you're going to be seen as delusional. Things happen to people all the time. It's like someone dealing with some type of abuse at home or in a relationship, or at work or something that nobody else knows about, or just it's about anything in life that no one knows about. If it's only between you and another person, and you go to bring it to other people, and it's hard for another person to conceptualize or believe or to accept what it is you're telling them, then they're going to look at you with disbelief. I almost said disdain. They're going to look at you with disbelief, probably some disdain too, if this is someone that they know and appreciate. Oh, so and so would never do such a thing. Well, you don't know so and so the way I do. I've never seen that side of them. Well, you won't see that side of them. They need you. They need me out the way. So you won't see that side of them, but I will, because I pose a threat to them. You are their help. They're not going to bite the hand that feeds them, but they will get the hand out the way that precedes them or supersedes them. So you aren't delusional. People are out here pulling stunts on others, and trying to run game on people, and play tricks on you left and right. All right, people are out here trying to do that, but whatever device formed against you is not going to prosper. All right, you have to control yourself in a way to where you operate with God, and you don't get tricked into falling into their plan for you, because the plan that they have set for you is a plan for destruction, a plan for failure, a plan to be distracted, a plan to lose. All right, God has a plan for you set in stone for great success. All right, but unfortunately, there are these entities that don't want you to reach your goal, because they see how much potential that you have. All right, so what they'll do is they'll come up against you, because they don't want to see you get any further than them, especially if they already see you have more than them. They feel content with you. If at least if you're going to be better than them, they want to do their best to see how they can get in the way to stop you from eventually becoming even better than you are now, which would just deliver a crushing, defeating blow to their ego. One that they're trying to prevent, because they don't want to see it, and they obviously can't take it. So you aren't delusional. If word gets out, their operation will be exposed. They can't have you being seen as a credible source. They can't have you being seen as someone that actually knows what they're talking about, because the more credible you seem, the more informed you seem, the more level-headed that you seem, someone is going to be empathetic and feel that there's some sincerity and some truth behind what you're saying. All right. Someone's going to be empathetic and be like, well, I don't know what to think, but if that was me, I wouldn't appreciate that. So you know what, I'll at least listen to what this person have to say, and I may even go as far as seeing if there's some things that I can do. You never know how God works. You just have to work with him and not work against him or yourself, especially when there are other forces at hand that are already doing just that. All right, so they want you to think that you're seeing something. They want people to think that you're on something. You're hallucinating. All right, or you've taken something, putting something in your system to make you see things. You're tripping out. You're schizzing. You're tweaking. They want people to think that you're delusional. All right. Whenever something that's happening to someone that they can't prove, but they believe it's happening, they're telling people that it's happening. They're telling people that, hey, I'm seeing this, or this is happening, and people find it hard to believe that that's happening. They're going to think you're just seeing things. They're not going to think that it's actually something that's taking place in real life. They're not going to think that it's actually something that happened to you. They're going to think it's something that just happened in your head, and you need to go see someone about the things going on in your head. So there are people out there trying to force delusions on others. They want you to think you're delusional. All right, some people will even do this in the act of when they've said something. They'll deny it. All right, so this can happen when with someone doing something to you, like in forms of gang stalking. Somebody's haunting you. Someone's following you. Someone's acting like a bully. They're doing what's called blocking. They're putting things in your way, getting in your way, purposely making it hard for you to move around in your environment. All right, low key, no touch torture type of harassment. All right, so people will deny that they do that. People will lie and say that they don't do it. And what that turns out to being for the person that's going through it is that they feel that you're delusional. All right, so also this can happen when you're in arguments with people, all right, or when you're going through something physically with a person, or like verbally, if you're trying to work something out, or if you're having an argument, or if you're trying to talk to someone about something. All right, people that can't tell the truth, they're going to deny it. All right, they're going to say that they didn't do it. They're going to make you think twice and try to make you question yourself about what you're experiencing. So if they do something, they say something that's out of pocket, they'll deny it. They'll say they didn't do it, and you know they just did. But the thing is, they'll deny it and try to convince you that it didn't happen. And they'll also try to convince you that you're crazy, or it's something that you thought you heard but you didn't hear. These people will play all types of games on whoever will let them, and they only get as far as the belief that people have in what they say. So if they invite you to believe some bull, don't believe it. Somebody says, hey, I didn't just do that, but you know that's what you just heard. Don't be invited to play yourself. All right, don't invite yourself to the party just to play yourself. Don't invite yourself to be played. People don't want to get found out. People don't want their character to be exposed. People are afraid of people seeing them for who they really are. They don't want to be seen as who they really are, but they want to be that person. So it's like they want to be this evil, wicked, manipulative, demonic type of person, but they don't want to be seen as that. And they call it covertly aggressive, but that's why I rephrase it and I call it cowardly aggressive. Who wants to be a certain way but not be seen as that, unless it's something that you're trying to work on and stop. If it's something that you're trying to work on and stop, I can understand. You don't want to be seen that way. It's something that you're working on and dealing with. But who actually willingly participates in a behavior that they want to do? They want to do this. They want to go back and forth with people. They want to argue with people. They want to be in charge and have power over other people and be destructive and sadistic and toxic to other people. They like being that kind of person, but they don't want to be seen that way. Why? Because it would drive people away from them. If somebody just tried to disguise you something that tasted bad as some, if something tasted bad and the only way somebody could make you buy it is describing it as something that tastes good, they're not going to tell you that, hey, this tastes bad. They're going to be like, yo, this is the best thing you ever had. And then after you spend your money on it and realize that it tastes like crap, you know, at that point you're like, oh man, I've been bamboozled, I've been hoodwinked. All right, so you don't get bamboozled and you don't get hoodwinked. You just have to be confident in yourself and what you know to be the truth. You have to be confident in yourself and what you know to be the truth. They do things to make you question your sanity, so that way you will doubt yourself and you won't believe the things you know to be true. They don't want you to have confidence and be strong in what you know. So since they don't want you to be confident and be strong in what you know, they rather you defer to them and go to them and believe in them and ask them and go and refer to them, and whatever they say, make that God in your life instead of your word being God, instead of what you instead of your word in the beginning and your word being God. They want their word to be in the beginning and their word to be God in your life. All right. Somebody else's opinion does not have to be your reality. You know what the truth is. Somebody else's falsehood doesn't have to be your reality. Stop taking people's BS for truth. Stop letting people tell you lies and take it for the truth. Stop letting people play with you and say things to you and that you know is not true and believing it for the sake of them being able to control the argument, them being able to be manipulative. If you know someone is trying to deny something and act like they didn't just do something they did, just walk away. Don't waste time trying to solve the puzzle, solve the riddle, get them to admit what they did. That's energy draining for you. That's time wasting for you. There's no need to try. You did this. There's no need to try to get them to admit what they did. That's a waste of time and energy. The devil's got you confused. Yes, they did it. Move on, get over it, either stay or leave. And if what they did was that bad, and if this person just thinks it's okay to do stuff and brush it over with the fact that they'll just lie blatantly as far as I didn't do that, then that's something that you have to remove yourself from, because ain't no way in hell that's gonna get better. And because this person is blatantly being that, that's what they want to be. They don't mind being the person that's harmful, that's negative, and they actually, that's what they want. So if you don't want that, it's best that you don't just allow them to work you any kind of way they want. And when people have when people have the type of gumption, right? When people have the gumption to blatantly do something and then just brush it over with, I didn't do it. That person is low key just being disrespectful and the worst kind of person that you could be around, because this person will do things to harm you and then act like they didn't do it, so that way you'll stay around. They can keep doing it and they'll just keep harming you, and they actually think it's okay to do that. So you have to have that power in your life to not want that for yourself, so that way you can get yourself out of a situation like that, because that type of situation right there ain't no good. This person will just do whatever, and then they're testing you to see what they can get over on you. So if they do one small thing, they're going to try to take a giant leap for mankind. They do one small thing, one small step for man, one small step for their sneakiness, one larger step for their whole game plan. All right, so they're trying to see what they can get over on you with the little things. They start with the little things. It's going to be something big. You give them an inch, they'll take a mile. All right, it starts with the things that you question, the things that you may decide whether you should tolerate or not. If it's something that you have to decide whether you should tolerate or not, you probably shouldn't tolerate it, and you should probably just move on. All right, people are getting too many chances out here. People know that people are forgiving and will give them other chances. It's time to cut all that stuff out, not be as forgiving, not give as many chances. People deserve what they get, and then that's it. People deserve what you get is what you deserve. What you give, if what you're giving, you're gonna get what you deserve. You may not get it back. I may not give it back to you on some tit for tat, petty, uh, um, immature, not being a mature person type stuff. But what you will get is the type of energy that you deserve for the act or the character that you display to me. All right. So it is what it is with that. So you are delusional. You're not seeing things. People are trying to run game. They're trying to get things over on people, and they're trying to get, most importantly, over on you, their personality. All right. So basically, like if somebody tried to move in with you and live with you and do whatever they wanted, and try to find ways to get you to be okay with that. That's pretty much how people are when they're trying to come into your life, and it's not someone that should be there. So there are certain people who are basically moving into your house, your life, and they're trying to basically kick some type of game to you to get you to allow them to do whatever it is they want and for you to accept it. So if you wouldn't allow that to happen in your home or anything like that, don't allow that to happen in your world, in your reality, in your life. That is also a house. Your life is also a house. Your reality is also a house. Don't just let anybody in there. People gotta wipe their feet. People gotta get clean. People gotta hold them. People gotta hold themselves to a certain standard. People gotta hold themselves accountable in order to get access, in order to be in your house, in order to be in your life. Otherwise, you shouldn't want them there, because if they're not meant to be there, you're going to be forcing it, and that's going to cause problems. That's going to leave you susceptible to whatever game plan that they have put in place, and that's going to allow this person to take some type of leadership role or power role in your life when they shouldn't have one. Because what you'll end up doing is people pleasing and trying to meet this person's needs or standards just to keep them around, or just to keep them in a certain mood, or to keep them in a certain attitude. And there's no reason why you should be working to try to keep someone in a certain type of state. All right, people should be able to make themselves happy, and if they can't, that's not your job. If you can't make them happy just by doing what you're supposed to do, anything more than that, and anything where they're trying to get you to do more than what you're supposed to do, bah, bah, that's no good. All right, so you aren't delusional. All right, you aren't delusional. There are people out here doing things they're not supposed to be doing, and they're trying to get a backing from other members in society that it's okay. So what they'll do is, so they don't have to worry about how they feel, or they don't have to deal with other people coming after them for it, is they have ways to defend themselves. They have ways to combat other people when they bring these things to their attention, so that way it will get ignored, and the person can just go back to manipulating and using the people around them. They have this whole thing planned out. So it's like when you get them in your life, it's like having a squatter. It's like having a property and somebody just there. Or you pretty much have to figure out a way to either get this person out of your life, or get out of this person's life, or just immediately just do cutoffs completely. That's why it's good to not involve yourself in situations until you're ready or prepared. I know some people say, well, life just happens sometimes. Well, you have to have enough control to where life doesn't just happen sometimes, because you have to count the cost of the type of position that you could be putting yourself in, the type of situation you could be getting in, all because you want to either make a decision or take a risk. Count the costs accordingly. Certain risks you can take, and You should calculate the risk. If I take this risk, this will happen. I could be okay with that. There are certain risks that whatever happens afterwards, you have to really sit down and ask yourself, will I be okay with this? All right, so you aren't delusional, because you might be putting yourself in a situation to where somebody's trying to run game on you and control your situation. So you aren't delusional. There are people out here that are doing things they aren't supposed to do, and they're covering it up with getting you to do it by controlling how you think and how you feel, and what you think about them, and how you think about what it is they're trying to get you to do. So if they could change the way you think about how it is, and what it is they're trying to get you to do, they could possibly get you to do it. So you're not delusional. There are people that are they're coming up against you and putting pressure on you for certain things. That's why you feel uncomfortable. That's why you may feel like you're walking on eggshells. That's why you may feel irritated around this person. That's why you may feel like it's hard to either be yourself or speak your mind around this person. Like, people who make you feel uncomfortable like that, that's a sign that you're not supposed to be around these people. All right, so we may not have known why we felt a certain way around a certain type of person, but when there's certain things that you pick up, they're indicators that this is the type of environment that you're not supposed to be in. This is the type of person that you're not supposed to be around. All right, but if word gets out, their operation is going to be exposed. So they have to low key be slick about how they handle themselves and how they deliver themselves to other people. So that way, nobody will be able to pick up on what they're doing. If no one is able to pick up on what they're doing, they're able to just run their operation smoothly and and get their and get done what they need to get done. All right, so if they need to attack you and get you up out of a place and get you to react, they do that without being detected as the aggressor, and the person who reacts ends up being the one being seen as the aggressor and the problem causer, and the person that is being problematic, the person that is causing issues, the person that should be removed, the person that everybody should come up against or have a certain type of way they feel towards. So it is what it is. All right. Um, you've been seeing some things and pointing out some things. If you can't prove them, if nobody will take your side, don't make a big deal out of it. Don't feel too bad about it. Just know that you saw what you saw, and the only reason why they're doing it is because you pose a threat to them, and they're greatly devastated by the time every time they see you doing better and improving and getting further on with life, and the fact that they haven't been able to take you out yet, and you keep learning and gaining more experience from all the things that they try to throw at you. It's only going to make you better in the long run. You're only going to have more life experience. You're only going to be more seasoned, more well-rounded, more able to handle people and life in general. So I know it to not be able to have people see things your way or from your point of view. I know that's damaging, to have something happen and say this happened, and have people, that didn't happen. Are you sure that happened? That didn't really happen. To not really feel where you're coming from, but just know, I know where you're coming from. There are other people who feel where you're coming from, and you're not delusional. You have experienced something. You did go through something. You did see something, and now the next step is to get over it. All right, people aren't honest, so they're not gonna just be like, "Yeah, I did that." Even if you call them out on it, they're gonna deny it. They're gonna lie. They're gonna change the subject. They're going to make you look crazy, say it's you. The whole point of this is making you look delusional. So even if you are able to point it out or talk about it or put it in ways that could be understood, you may not be seen as that legitimate or that sane. They're doing this to make you be discredited, so that way the things you say are looked at as like, this person should go see somebody, a shrink, a psychiatrist, get some medicine. Maybe they need to see a head doctor, something. All the while, they keep doing it and acting like they're not doing anything. So this is a very, you're dealing with something that could cause a person to be depressed, causing a person to go insane, cause a person to believe there's something wrong with them. So you have to understand that you're a very strong person. No matter who hears you out, who believes you, who denies you, there's still a certain amount of power and strength that you have with all that you're going through. So don't give up and stay strong throughout all this, because if you can continue to just make it to the next day, I guarantee you that you'll end up seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, coming out on top and figuring out a plan and a solution for yourself and your problems. Because right now, at the end of this video, we're going to do a special technique where we transfer our energy from the problem to the solution. So everybody grab yourself a piece of paper and a pen and write down, I now transfer my mind from the energy of the problem to the solution. I'd like to thank you for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed the little jewels that have been dropped. I'll see you in the next one. Shout out to the Galactic family, the GCVs, Drew Nation, and the producer squad. See you all later. Peace, love, and light. We out.